Anyone else addicted to gambling, or is that just me? I'm tempted to just keep restarting until I get something amazing on the first spin, but that might take like 10,000 spins, and even I don't have that much time. I did take cheese because I can combine that with a mouse for big money, but I am going to be pretty choosy about what I take this early on. Mostly because I don't want to clutter up the reels, but I do know I need to get some kind of value on the reels, so we're going to take a 3-sided die. That is worth an average of 2. And I'm going to take more cheese because once I put a mouse on, the cheese will disappear and the cheese will give me value. We needed 25, we have 32. And then I think we're going to take a B because adjacent flowers give 2 times more money, and I think I already have 1 flower, yes I do, on the board. Out of all of these, I'm just going to take a pool ball, and that's just free coins for me. The B already boosted the flower, so there's a spin for 13. Tempted to take this seed because it can turn into a flower or other valuable stuff, but chances are it would turn into something stupid that would just get in the way. And contrary to what you might often see here on this channel, I don't like stupid. But we are going to take a light bulb. That means it has a 50% chance of making flowers worth more money if they're adjacent. Speaking of flowers, we're going to take another one of those. That way there's just more chance for things to be boosted. Like this little flower, he's now worth 4 because of those things. Do I want more cheese? I'll take cheese for now. Eventually I will put a mouse on there and he's going to make a lot of money for us. This one flower, yeah, we needed 50, we have 70. Then I don't want any of this stuff, but hopefully I get a great item. Nothing here is actually great. We'll take the swear jar though, put 1 coin each spin. If it is worth 25 or less, when we want to destroy it, we get 3 times the value back. So that might save us down the road because we tend to make poor decisions. And we're going to throw a key onto the board because that gives us 1 coin per turn. And if we get a safe or something, well, it destroys the safe and itself and we get big money out of it. Our spins so far aren't bad. That was worth 17, but we're going to have to start doing better. There's our mouse to eat the cheese, so he's going to clear up 3 spots on the reel. And that's going to be worth a few bucks, but we're going to need to start adding more value on the reels because there's a lot of blank spots. I don't normally take these unless they're silver or better, but in this case we got a lot of blank spots. We're gonna take one because he just doubled the value of the mouse, so that was worth 32, so that basically already paid for itself. Then here's another light bulb which can add a boost to the flowers, potentially. Well, whatever the case, we're starting to get some healthy boosts going. That was 33. We needed 100, we have 174. And I don't really like anything here, so we're gonna take an item capsule. That is just gonna give us an item. Then obviously the yellow pepper, because it's gonna give us 2 coins if none of the symbols are blank. They're blank now, but eventually those rails will be very full. Common items are also boring at the beginning, but we did also get one of these, so we can take another light bulb, which is going to help to boost the flowers. We can give more cheese for the mouse, we might as well. Eventually he will land next to those and the flowers will start getting better boosts. Not gonna take any of these because I can't really think of any way I can stack those into something interesting. Do I want one more flower? I might as well. I don't have enough boosts going anyways, so now the flowers can almost always be touching something that will or can boost them. I used to like shiny pebbles. I don't think those make enough of a difference to justify their 1 coin value on the reels. They just take up too much space. And I'm not actually going to take any more flowers. You're better off to have fewer flowers and more boosts if you can get away with it. And I think we're at about the point where we will get away with it. Like this flower up here is going to get a pretty healthy boost up to 4. We needed 150, we have 175. We're ahead, but we need to start doing better than we are. A 5-sided die would work. That can give up to 5 per spin. The safe would be nice so too. We're going to throw the safe down because that's going to be easy money. Black suits is normally pretty good, but we're not collecting any of the suits. We're going to take the lucky cat, 1.3 times more likely to find uncommon, rare, and very rare symbols for each cat. I think we got 1 cat on the board. Yeah, we sure do, so that's going to make a little difference. And now I can get my 5-sided die again. That should give an average of I think 3 coins, somewhere in that neighborhood. Either way, it's going to be worth it. Another bronze arrow, we'll take one for now, just because we got room, so now we can have double multipliers. We can have all sorts of multipliers potentially, like this right here is now worth 12. Then we could have another 5-sided die. This is going to be a very risky play to make, but we're just going to go for it. Look at all the dice we have. But our spins are worth now 23 or more. But as long as things are going like this, we'll be okay for now. Though I do have 2 spins to make $55. I do have a swear jar though too, so that will come in handy. That might have to bail me out depending on how these spins go. This one was worth 39 though. And the items were all boring. There's nothing there I could stack. And all I want this far into the game are things that I can stack. We opened the safe, so there's 89 in a single spin. I was worried about that one, but we ended up about 75 ahead. I mean, It would be a shame not to get a very rare watermelon since it actually showed up for us. And then for items, none of these are really good, so we're just going to take the lunchbox because it's going to give us an assortment of items. We don't have to take any if we don't like any, and we don't like any. So we're just going to keep on spinning. We've got a lot of symbols on here that can actually be worth a lot of money at this point. Unlike these idiots, I don't want any of that. I'm starting to feel like a 5-sided die would be the way to go here. But these light bulbs aren't really doing a lot for my flowers. I guess that's because they only have a 50% chance of actually working. This die, however, will be worth quite a bit. That should be 12. Hearts are maybe the other thing I should have been stacking along with the rest of the suits because they would all pile up into a bunch of value. But for now, we're going to try and focus on the flowers. It would be really great if I could get a sunshine at some point. It would be amusing to take a bronze arrow, but I don't want to overdo it on the bronze arrows. And I just realized my reels aren't even filled yet. I need to find more items. The rabbit fluff is kind of tempting because it's worth 2. And it makes you more likely to find other stuff. We're going to take just 1 rabbit fluff for now, mostly because it just gives me a little bit better chance to find stuff. And this flower is worth 4. We found a rare Robin Hood, but he's not worth my time. Spin away. Hopefully we get a big one here. 29. We needed 275. We have 297. So we're not as far ahead as last time, but we're doing okay so far. I did not ever realize Miss Fruit exists because she destroys bananas, cherries, all of that stuff. And it turns out I only have 1 cherry right now, but it would be worth it because she would eventually eat that and get that out of the way, and then she herself is worth a little more. So once she gets her hands on that, she's worth 3, and I could continually throw some fruit out there once in a while. But here's a good one. Basically, my dice are automatically going to re-roll if they roll low, so that's just going to up their chance of getting me more value. And I kind of like value. That spin alone is worth 37. And I guess I probably can take a seed for now, because chances are it's going to turn into a fruit, and then Mrs. Idiot is going to eat that, and then she's worth more. See, she got the cherry right there, and then she got double value here. So what is she worth now? 6 for a total of 37. Don't want any rabbit fluff. We're going to keep on spinning, hoping for something amazing to show up. We need to make 325 in 3 spins, so we got to make about $200 in 5 spins. That shouldn't be too bad, but we're going to have to start finding some more valuable stuff. But this won't be bad because of these 2 getting multiplied. I need more bees and rain and the farmer and sunshines to multiply the flowers. I have lots of flowers, they're not getting nearly the multiplier they should be so far. The re-rolling of the dice is nice though. These dice by themselves are making me a fortune. There's 37. And now the game is mocking me by giving me flowers and not more valuable symbols. I'm going to take a flower for now just to try and trigger more multipliers. Though we don't have enough on there to even multiply things, so that was maybe a bad... Oh, there's another flower too. We've got too many flowers now. If we don't start finding some proper multipliers for those, then we are going to lose this run. Though this flower in particular is going to be worth a few, and so is this one actually. They're each worth 8, which isn't a lot considering, but it's still quite a bit for me. We've got to make 27 coins on this spin, or we're out of luck. I think we're going to be okay though, because we made 42. So we needed 325, we made 339, but we're still cutting it way too close. But we're absolutely going to take a beehive because 1 in 20 spins, they're going to produce a bee, and a bee will multiply the flowers. And all these items aren't really good, so we're going to take coin on a string. It's going to give me 1 coin and has a 10% chance of being destroyed. But until it does, that's just free coins for me. Now I just really need to hope that the beehive gives me lots of extra bees. There's a lot going on every spin. There's 55. These are all animals. We don't want any of the animals right now. Unless they're bees. Bees are the only thing we want animal-wise. But we're starting to get some proper multipliers going. The flowers aren't going to be worth a ton, but they're going to be worth more than 1. Tempted to throw a key on there just in case we get a safe. But I think I want the safe first, because the keys are harder to find and I don't want them, or the safes are harder to find and I don't want keys taking up room on my reels. That was for 51. We're actually making pretty good money every spin now. We got 4 spins to make about $167, which should be able to do if we can make 50 per spin. Depending on where these idiots point, because if they keep pointing off the edge, that's not very helpful to me. But there's another 43. There's a golden arrow we're absolutely going to take. Whatever they point to gets a 4 times multiplier. So hopefully they always point to something good and not straight off the board. I still got $46 on that, regardless of it not pointing to anything at all. It's in the middle, so it's at least going to point to the kitty cat for $4. Okay, so on this spin, we need to make $44, or we're maybe not going to survive. Good start with the golden arrow and the dice. But that's not a bad one. It's going to multiply everything going that way, and we're good. $47. We needed 375. We had 377. Item-wise, none of these are great. I'm going to take the rusty gear. If 3 or more symbols are the same and adjacent and not blank, they give 2 times more. So if we have 3 flowers touching, they're worth double. The flowers are generally multiplied, like these 3 are actually adjacent. So depending on if they get multiplied or not, they're worth extra multiplied. This time I'm going to take a chemical 7, destroys itself, gives 7 coins. If that happens 7 times, we get 77 coins. I've got too many of these spinny rods on here too. They're just taking up room at this point. The gold one's fine. The rest of them aren't that great. I'm getting very unlucky. I don't want a bounty hunter. I want a farmer. I want rain. I want anything like that. Those kind of things would actually be helpful to me. And if this gold one would stop pointing off the map, I'm not doing any more light bulbs, I would make more money. This one has a chance to make so much money for me if it would just play ball. Now it doesn't even show up for me. But things like this flower should be worth a double bonus, so that's worth 8. That's okay. Eventually those will get enormous. But we need to be doing better than 45 per spin. We've got 4 spins to make $250, so we need to get like 60 something dollars per spin, and I'm not super optimistic about that. But, you know, multipliers, you never know what's going to happen. There's 55. I'm tempted to take a rare ruby right now, but even that's only worth 3, and nothing's going to multiply it, probably, so it's probably not worth my time. Now, if my golden idiot would point upwards towards a roll of 3 or something, that would be great. Nope, it points straight off the board again. It just hates me. There's 58. I've already got way too many dice on the board. I regret all the dice I have. But there's another 46. It's gonna be close. We've got 1 spin to make $90. But luckily we've still got the swear jar to bust open. Please point to something, you stupid golden rod. I swear they only point off the board. They don't ever play ball. So we're 51 shy. If we break this, we're still 12 shy. Outstanding. I decided to start a new run, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and that's how addiction works. Anyways, we have 100 coins due in 1 spin. We have 118 currently, and we just found a sun. It gives 3 coins, but adjacent flowers give 5 times more coins. Also, I have the blue pepper, which gives me 3 coins if there's at least 3 blanks on the map, which there often are. This yellow pepper gives 2 if none of the symbols are blank, which doesn't matter, and the lockpick, which has a 30% chance of opening locked stuff. So they won 100, I've got 132, and thanks to that sunshine and the flowers, I think we're gonna do alright. Buffing capsule destroys itself, adjacent symbols give 2 times more. I guess for this, we'll take the watering can, because it's the only one that's kind of conceivably useful to me at this point. So that flower is now worth 5 all by itself, and the sun was worth 6. Every time we find one of these, we're going to buy it because there's a 30% chance of it being destroyed anyway, and that's just free money. That sun is going to pay for itself in no time. Even without multiplying anything, the sun is still great. We don't need keys anymore because they're just unnecessary. We've got 152 and 3 spins, so 52 coins to go. The sun's going to multiply that. There's 38. Having lockboxes and safes opened automatically basically every 3 turns really adds a lot of value. We're going to take an item capsule because it destroys itself and gives me something. Anytime I get something to destroy itself, I basically will. There's another 38. We have 188 and we needed 150. Then I think I am going to take the rabbit fluff because I do need some uncommon, rare, and very rare stuff. And then item wise, I guess we're going to take the lucky 7. Nothing there was really great, but the lucky 7's gonna have to do. But the rabbit fluff will hopefully get me more rain and bees and that sort of thing, because if I get a second multiplier on these flowers along with the sun, that's big money. Because we're doing okay now, I'm actually gonna add a symbol like wine just to get a little more value every spin. Because I'm worried we're gonna fall short. I need that one safe to open. I might even add a peach while we're at it, just for the sake of getting some quick value for now. The safe open, so this should be a pretty big one at 58. It's just that since we got the sun, that's pretty hard to do this early on, so I want to make sure I don't fail at some point. We're going to take the lucky capsule because that's going to give me something rare after the spin. Hopefully that something is another sun. I mean, I guess an emerald is pretty good too at 3. And the reels aren't even close to full yet, so I might as well add a few valuable symbols whenever I find them. We've got 1 spin to make $8. Are we going to do it? But we're actually not nearly as far ahead as I'd hoped we'd be. 225, we have 240. Since I do have 3 spades already, I'm going to take a clubs because they can multiply off each other. 5-sided die is tempting, but I don't really think that's a good idea. Swear jar isn't going to work because we definitely make more than 25 per spin. Frying pan stupid. Pool ball is going to give me a free coin every spin, so why would we not do that? And we're going to take another clubs just so that stuff can multiply off each other. Like this guy should be worth 5. Well, I guess that's still something. I was thinking they multiplied each other, but they just stack. So the most one could be worth is probably 9 then, if it's surrounded by 8. But as long as that sun keeps landing near flowers, we'll probably be alright. Although 4 spins to make $155, that doesn't seem super optimistic when I say it out loud. But opening a lockbox sure would help. And we did it first try. There's 46. And then I think I'm actually going to add a key because that will eventually be destroyed and I just need the temporary value for it. So I've got 1 spin to make $47, so I'm going to throw an extra flower into the mix. Just, I don't know why, to hopefully bounce off the sun one more time, and we failed again. So I started another run, and then I did another one, and another one, and another one, and that's what addiction looks like. But here we are. We've got a pretty interesting run shaping up because I have the lucky cat, so I'm more likely to find items for every cat that I have, and I've got 2 cats. Plus, I've already got 3 flowers, plus a farmer who doubles the value of those flowers. Plus, he also doubles the value of the peach and the orange and things like that. But then we also have a jack-o'-lantern. So this child and whatever candy he eats is worth 2 times more. So far, we've been making pretty good money, and as soon as he gets near the llama, he's going to explode that into more candy. That one is worth 31, so we're already 80 over what we need. So this is starting out very strongly. So we needed 150, we have 257, and hopefully it's only going to get better from here. We're going to take a buffing capsule for now because it's going to give a 2 times multiplier to whatever's near it. And then the white pepper is really the only thing I want there. But we're finding a lot more uncommons than normal. There we go. This kid is going to be worth a fortune now. 38. That was worth 78 on that single spin. Plus, here's a bee to help multiply those flowers. Between him and the farmer now, that'll start to stack up pretty quick. And I'm going to pick candy whenever I have a lack of anything else because Idiot here will eat it and that's worth quite a bit of money. This stuff is all worth nothing to me. I will take cats if I find them too, just because I get the huge increase for rarity. Not that I really need it at this point, but it's kind of fun. Tempting to take a hustling capsule, but you know what? We need to save our money. We need to make $225 in 3 spins and we only have 292 currently. He's gonna eat that candy. So how much was he worth eating 2 candies? 26. And we do have a key out there, so I'm gonna throw a safe out there. We've got 2 safes out there now. 1 key and 2 safes, but they have to line up eventually. That farmer is really doing some work. And a pinata is great because the kid eats that for big value and then 5 candies go on the reel and he eats all those for even bigger value. We needed 225, we have 465. I don't ever use the hexes, but I will use the chemical 7 because those are easy money now and even easier money later. Then I think I'm going to take the purple pepper, gives 5 coins if 3 or more symbols are adjacent, and things like the flowers are going to eventually stack like that, and they're going to do it pretty often. Even there, that was pretty close. I don't want any more fruit. Not going to wait on a diamond because that's just going to get in the way. We still have all these blank spots on our reels though. Maybe I should start taking some of those. Well, for right now, I'm going to take avoid creature. If he's adjacent to a blank spot, it gives me value. If there's no blank spots, he destroys himself for value. So he's useful. Then he destroys himself when he isn't useful anymore. Okay, here's another good one, farmer, which can help multiply the flowers and many other things on the board. So the multipliers are hopefully going to start to stack up quicker and quicker. This spin alone is worth 63. My little guy definitely did just get destroyed, but the farmer's double bounced on him, so we got 59 out of that. Tempted to take a rabbit fluff, but I don't want to take up the room. Same with the 5-sided die, I don't think it's worth the risk. We don't need to be taking a lot of weird risks right now. We can just stick to our current strategy, and we're going to be okay. We need 275. We currently have 500 plus a B for extra flower multipliers. All we need now is 1 sunshine and we'll be laughing. We're currently 250 ahead of where we need to be at 275. There's rare Robin Hood again. I don't want him. We will take instant ramen. It is rare. You add an additional item after each rent payment. That's actually really big because those items really put me over the top. I can't remember if we have any keys out there currently, but we're going to throw a safe out there because the key's pretty easy to find overall. This flower alone is going to be worth quite a bit. It's all the way up to 16 already. It's definitely a good sign considering how much money we have and how much we're making, and we've still got 2 blank spaces out there. Gonna take an item capsule because that's an easy choice. I don't know what my average spin has been so far, but we're clearly making our money. We're finally getting lucky because we're getting things like bees a lot and the multipliers for the flowers. We still haven't found any suns. That's not the end of the world. We'll find them eventually. As long as we're getting some multipliers for all of our things, we're doing just fine. We can have a key to open our safe, which is actually going to happen right away. So this will be a pretty good spin in itself. 74. This is the final spin before our rent is due, so hopefully we have enough money to make it, and I suspect we probably will. We needed 325, we have 633, so we're 300 ahead. I basically have to spin once and I'll have enough to complete this. Should I take a silver arrow? I have such mixed feelings about these always. We're gonna take one because it's silver. And then, I guess we're gonna take fertilizer, because then if I want to have seeds grow, they go into rare or better. Plus we get a second thing because of my item. And then all of these are pretty much useless to me, so I'm just going to take coin on a string and we're just going to keep on rolling and making a fortune. This flower in particular should be worth a bit, and the value is just going to keep on going up and up and up and up. We got lots of multipliers out there for my flowers. Multipliers out there for a lot of things really. More candy for the idiot because he's going to eat those, and that is certainly worth some money. What do we get if he eats one candy currently? That makes him worth 14. And 14 is a pretty good spin for like a pretty basic symbol. Then we're going to take a wealthy capsule. Our reels are now full. Actually, maybe not anymore because of that. But we're only going to add very good symbols at this point because we're so far ahead that we can afford to sit on our lead just a little bit. And we're still making like $50 per spin. We're going to take the lucky capsule because I want a rare symbol. Hopefully it's a sunshine. But with everything going on here, I feel like this would be a pretty good spin in itself. And another farmer. Pretty soon, this is going to be like mutually for boosting flowers. We already have 3 farmers on the board. We needed 375. We have 726. We're 351 ahead. And we're getting uncommon and rare options frequently, however I don't want any of those ones. The only thing here that's potentially useful is yellow pepper. It gives 2 coins if none of the symbols are blank. Green pepper is tempting because it gives 3 coins if at least 3 of the symbols are the same and not blank. And that's going to happen quite a lot, but I want the rain cloud. Rain gives +1 more and are common instead of uncommon. I haven't found any rain yet, but it does help the flowers a lot. So if I could find any of those at any point, that would be just great. But I am finding a lot more uncommon and stuff these days, so that's just fine. Eventually we'll find some rain and some sunshines. For now, I'll settle on making, $63 per spin. Which is interesting because she might actually make some of these hexes kind of worthwhile, but I'm not using any of those, so she can go away. Still finding too many commons. I was hoping that this lucky cat would have more of a difference than it did. Maybe if we had more cats it would make more of a difference, but so far I don't know if it's even noticeable. And then I just basically have cats taking up too much space on my reels. I'd rather just not have them at all and have more room for multipliers. Although my reels still aren't full, so. But once I have a rare strawberry, they sure will be. It's gonna be multiplied by farmers too, so it's actually a pretty good one to have on there right now because it's worth 6. And I'll throw another key out there for now just because it can unlock a safe at some point. That strawberry just got double multiplied. I saw it. So it's worth 12? Yeah, it sure is. That was a $90 spin. So we're still up by about 300. We're going to start to lose our lead a little bit here if I don't start finding more good stuff. I might take a rare apple for now just because it can be boosted by all of my farmers. But we're also going to take a golden carrot because we are 5 times more likely to find uncommon, rare, and very rare symbols. But now we're going to start to find some of the very good stuff, thanks to a very rare find in itself. And then we're also going to take a piggy bank. But this should help us find some of the rarest stuff that can really make a difference. I think from here on out, we're going to start to run away with the score. This one is worth 64. Already, I am finding purely uncommon things, which hopefully isn't going to work against me. The rain is now common, so it's going to be a little bit harder to find, but we should find more suns, and suns are much better. That was worth 82, by the way. I'm also going to take a void creature because he's going to die instantly for 8 coins. I mostly just wanted him to die. Here's another bee. The pinata is tempting for the child, but the bees are going to be worth more because they're going to go around those flowers a lot. Like this one flower in particular just got a pretty good boost. There's a rare mine, so we're definitely finding pretty much all uncommon and a lot more rares than we were before. Though I think we've still only found one very rare this entire night so far, and it's been a little while. Anyways, this spin was worth 52. Well, there's also a very rare watermelon. I might as well add that to the reels because I think I have 3 farmers out there that can multiply it. So if they get those 3 plus this guy and a triple, that would actually be worth a lot by itself. As it sits, it's worth 8 with only a single multiplier on it. Lots of farmers out there. There's a triple onto the watermelon, so that's worth 12 all by itself. We needed 550, we have 845, so we're still up by about 300. And here's a row of rare things. If I had more of this crap lying around, I would get her. but I don't. None of these are really anything worthwhile to me, so I'll just take the watering can. Here's an interesting one. Devil's Deal.
You may destroy this item and add 66 blanks instead of paying rent.
I think that basically restarts you, which might be fun later on if we want to screw with things. Though I get the feeling it's not really going to be hard to pay rent for a while. But we'll see how it goes. We still haven't found any sunshines, and we maybe need to add a few more flowers in just to make sure they're getting properly multiplied. I think I diversified a little too much so far. Okay, at this point I'm going to add Mrs. Fruit because she's going to eat some of the lower tier fruit and gain permanent value for herself at that point, and that's going to clear up more space on the reels for multipliers for the flowers. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Plus, if we play for long enough, I can keep feeding Mrs. Fruit and she'll eventually be worth like $1,000 per spin all by herself. Here's another one, but I only want one of those idiots on the board. It would be cool if she would start landing next to some of these though and eating them. I'm even going to start adding a few extras. There we go. I think she's going to eat 3 of them in one go. So that made her worth 5 per spin and cleared up some room. And then we added a buffing capsule, so... well, it didn't really make a big difference, but it made a difference. This is the only time I've ever found Highlander. It's very rare. It gives 6 coins all by itself, and we just have to take it because I've never even found it before. That spin was only worth 50, and that's starting to worry me because spins are starting to get expensive. So we need to really start making some money or we're going to lose once again. This one was worth 59, which is pretty good, but not actually good enough. Lucky Capsule's going to make an item rare after this, and it would be nice if those would start pointing to actual useful things. But there's 77. So we're only up by about 250 now, so we're losing our lead. And that took a big jump up to 777. Then I don't actually want any of these things. I will maybe take a lockpick, because every time I find a safe or something better, well, it just basically automatically opens. Then I guess we'll take Pizza the Cat, because I do have a few cats on the reel, so I might as well get a little more value out of them when I can. And she's going to eat a cherry. So she's going to be worth more now. You know what's sad is that I'm not even going to take a watermelon at this point. I just don't think it's worth it. I need more multipliers for my goddamn flowers. That's all I want. But that was worth 57. Definitely don't want any of this garbage, but I do need to start making some money pretty badly. And there's just straight up a diamond, which again is tempting because it's 5 coins, but it's going to take up some of the space that I need for other things. So we're going to take a void creature so that he can die with a cute little scream. And this flower is worth 32. We really need to get a sunshine in there. It would make all the difference in the world. That spin was worth 95. It felt like it wasn't going to be a good one, but then it pulled it out. Some of the spins are worth like 40 still, but some are also worth over 100. It varies a lot, but it's not giving me any more multipliers for my flowers. Even flowers, like there's only 2 flowers on the board and a lot of other crap, so I really need to get it together. I think I do need more flowers overall though, because I'm only ever seeing 2 on the board at a time, and they need to be next to other things to even work. Well, we're going to have enough to pay rent. We need about 100 less than we currently have. But that makes me a little bit worried about my next layer of rent. I really hope to get a sunshine and some flowers. But there's 777. We're up by 180. Oh, and that was the end of regular mode anyway. So we'll go in free mode. But now I also have $1,000 due in 10 spins, so we're going to get a treasure chest. And this is one of the best symbols I can find right now. Clear sky, sun, and moon affect non-adjacent symbols as well. So now if I could just find a single sun, we would be in business. I am going to take a beehive. That way you can produce bees, which are going to multiply our flowers should I ever find a flower again. Because only finding 1 flower on the board isn't good enough. Not even close. Finally, we find a single sunshine. That's really actually going to make a pretty considerable difference, because now every flower is going to be multiplied by 5 on top of probably something else. Then I'm going to take a void stone because it's going to destroy itself. But that sunshine now has probably saved me. If I could find another one, we would be all the better. I did just open my treasure chest and that was worth 52 by itself, so there's 126 for that spin. We have 3 spins to make $243. And I think we're going to make it, because this flower by itself should be worth quite a bit. That's 20. As far as I can tell, the flowers are the most powerful symbol, as long as you have the right multipliers to go with them. There might be some other that stack in a similar way, but I don't know. One of the problems though too is the beehives are also producing a lot of honey. If I put a bear, it'll start to eat some of the honey. We can pay the 1,000, but not by much. The archaeologist really could be good for eating those shiny pebbles that I like so much later in the game, but I don't have enough other symbols to justify him right now. I think I'm actually going to take Maxwell the bear, because bears give 2 times more coins, and I'm going to need to add a bear at some point. A bowling ball gives 3 free coins. I'll take a bowling ball. But there's a lot of honey on the map right now, so I'm going to put another bee to multiply off those flowers. But then I really need a bear to start eating up this honey. There's a $100 spin. I don't know if we're going to make it. We need 1,507 27 spins. I'm gonna have to start getting creative. Here's a pinata for the kid. That might have been a bad choice, because if they're not adjacent, that pinata is just gonna be in the way. That's kind of why I should stop and think about things before I do them. We're gonna throw in a lucky capsule, because that's gonna give us a rare item, which is hopefully gonna be another sunshine. Because the spin of 118 is probably actually good enough, but we need like all ones like that. We've got 4 spins to make $903. The kid did finally just eat the thing for $26. That's not enough to save us. King Midas is good if you have a lot of coins on the board, but I don't, and I'm not going to add any. We're just going to kind of go out in style here. But while we're at it, I'm going to throw a chef down because he's going to make things like my rare symbols worth 2 times more. Because I guess you can just never have too many multipliers, and yeah, that pinata was a bad deal because look at all the candy it added. That candy's not valuable enough to be on my reels at this point. So we had a good start. We just lost track of it when we didn't add a few more flowers and didn't get enough suns early on. But we could also break our piggy bank now, which doesn't give us enough, but then we can use the devil's deal. We're 500 short. There's 66 blanks on my... Now it gives me a sun. I don't even know if I have any symbols left. Okay, we're going to take a sun. We're going to take a red pepper. It gives 5 coins if every symbol is different. Then we're going to take the anthropology degree. That way every person is worth 1 coin more. What do we have left on the reels? Not a great deal of things. Didn't we have a sun though? Where did the sun go? I literally just got a sun. Did it get eaten already? So at this point, I'm basically going to add anything I can to try and get some value, but there's no way we're going to make that. What is it we need? 1,000 more? Even with some very rare symbols on the board, like a mega chest, it's not going to come close. Oh, there's my suns. Okay, the suns are still here. There's just nothing showing on the board, probably because they're also spaced out, because we destroyed most of them. Okay, we've got 3 spins to make $800. We made 27 there. We're going to put the general down because he's got a chance to start eating some other people, and that's worth a lot of money, but still not going to be good enough. Cannibalism won't get us there, not this time. In the end, we needed 2,000. We had 1,398. Usually by the time I get to the kind of this point, I'm running away with money, not falling short.